Hey guys, I just wanted to do my review of Supergirl Season 1, Episode 3 for The Girl That Has Everything. So this is basically an adaptation of Alan Moore's Superman story for the man that has everything. And just like Superman, Supergirl is attacked by an alien called the Black Mercy Plant, which attaches to her, renders her unconscious, and puts her in this dreamlike fantasy and grants her greatest wish, which is being alive on Krypton. And it's like being on Krypton, the planet's still intact, and she's with her family, her mom and dad, a younger version of Kal-El, and Astra, who hasn't become a supervillain trying to take over the planet. So she's taken to the DEO. They're trying to figure out a way to help her, and Alex assumes that that's basically Maxwell Lord who's behind it, but it turns out since he's out of the loop, since he's still in his cell, it turns out that Non had basically used the Black Mercy plant to incapacitate Supergirl and still follow Astra's orders on not killing her. And there's this whole storyline about how the satellites are jammed and how they're planning an attack called the Myriad. They don't explain much about it. They don't go into much detail about it, but it's apparently part of like their master plan of trying to take over the planet, the Kryptonian, Astra and her army. However, the fact is that as you're in the fantasy, Kara is trying to at first it starts out as Kara being self-aware of that's a fantasy, it has to be a dream. But then she starts to gradually lose her memory. Like she can't recall like what planet she lives on now, and she still has the feelings of the people, but she can't remember like their names at first. And also, because she's incapacitated, and Cat Grant is still pissed at Kara for breaking up with Adam, that Martian Manhunter basically has to go in and impersonate Kara again. And it's actually a pretty funny scene because it's like, Melissa Benoist is able to definitely nail, I can forget the actor's name for Martian Manhunter, basically nailed John Jones's mannerisms, Hank Henshaw's. As even there's the one line where it's like, where she talks about, and because Hank has never met Cat Grant, and she doesn't know how, and so he doesn't really know how to maintain his composure, and Cat's able to push the faux Kara's buttons, and she ends up giving Cat a lot of lip, and also trying to apologize and talk to her in a business-like manner. And Cat Grant has this nice line where she says, "What are you, like, resigning from Congress?" And she tries to go with the whole crocodile tears, which and says that she needs a day off, which Cat Grant calls her out on, and even tries to give her a hard time by recording it on her phone, and even pointing out that it's like, "Oh well, Kara, you were like 3 hours late and you want the time off." But she reluctantly says fine. And so after talking with Alex talking with Maxwell Lord, she decides to take his deal to use like some virtual reality technology to go into Supergirl's mind and retrieve and snap her out of her conscious state before the Black Mercy kills her. So they modify it. She goes in, and she also tells Wynn and James not to make sure Hank Henshaw interferes, or if she has like seizures or whatnot, or else you might lose Kara. So basically, Alex is able to. So basically, Alex is able to go in, and because she finds that she actually learns more about what the alien is of the Black Mercy, because their satellites are jammed, basically the computer this hologram of Kara's mother has no information on the alien, so she has to so Astra ends up confronting her and saying that she wants to save Kara's life even though Alex doesn't trust her. And that's how she goes in, she tries to remind Kara who she is, and basically Alex is about to be put on trial on the faux Krypton and is about to be sent away, and just tells her, your life's not going to be perfect, and people, you're going to experience pain and loss, and but you got to keep going forward. I wish you could have had the life that you lived on Krypton. And it was very heavy-handed, but it seems like at least it gave Shiler Lee was able to give like a really, really good performance in this episode. This is where she was able to shine. And I don't know. There was something. Of course, it worked, and Supergirl was able to remember what's going on, and was able to wake up from the coma, and the Black Mercy plant crawled off her body and died. And when she found out Nala was responsible, they went over to attack the Kryptonian army. Supergirl went on to beat the crap out of Non, and he basically blasted a satellite in order to escape, and caused it to topple over with his heat vision in order to escape. And Astra basically gets into a fight with Alex, and Alex tries to reason with her, saying that you had plenty of times to kill me, you had plenty of times to kill Kara, but you didn't because you don't want to be part of this anymore. And Nan had actually been questioning Astra's resolve earlier because of what happened, because of being able to reconnect with Kara in an earlier episode, but of course Martian Manhunter comes in, and they have this brawl, and the special effects look a little bit better for Martian Manhunter than it did for Strangers from Another Planet, Visitors from Another Planet, that episode. And it just felt, but then the disappointing thing is that she was about to kill Martian Manhunter until Alex stabs Astra with a kryptonite sword, and Supergirl comes to her aid, and Astra's last dying words was telling her about the Myriad, but she doesn't elaborate on what the plan is. And Hank covers for Alex, saying that he's the one who killed her in self-defense, because Kara sees Alex as her hero, and Hank doesn't want to take that away from, take that idealized image away from Kara and ruin the bond. So of course it reckons, and then eventually she's able to talk with Kara talks with Alex, Wynn, and James, and just explains how the reason that she says she felt lost because, she said the reason why she fantasized about Krypton is that she felt lost the first time, when the first time she came to Earth, but she still cares about them very deeply, and ends with them, having, pizza and dinner and whatnot. And I don't know what it is. I mean, I don't know what it is. Even with this episode, it just felt like, even when Justice League Unlimited did the same story with Superman, it kind of felt, it had more emotional resonance to it. And I don't know, it just came off as a little more dry in this, the whole resolution to this storyline, to this version of the storyline, that it was just, I don't know, maybe because we haven't seen Kara go through enough, or or maybe like the show's maybe too upbeat, and maybe she hasn't gone through enough trials and tribulations to really, justify the storyline. Maybe it should have been like a season 2, or maybe like a season 2 plot storyline. I mean, I give it like a 6.5 out of 10. It was an okay episode, but even without comparing it to tonight's episode, The Flash, it still didn't pack the emotional punch of going through this like alternate reality that it did on. I've seen it with like I said, Justice League Unlimited and Flash. So I mean, what do you guys think of the episode? And also, I just hated the fact that they killed off General Astra, because this is their opportunity to make her a more multifaceted villain and make her like the show's equivalent of Grant Ward from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And now it's like, I feel like that's the biggest problem with this show, is that the villains are like so generic and you just don't give a damn. And they just seem, and that was like the only time where it's like, I don't know. I mean, you have like Maxwell Lord, it just feels like just their version of Lex Luthor, and then General Astra just sent like a gender flip General Zod. It's like, this could have been an opportunity to have her walk that fine line between good and evil and make her more than just a gender flip General Zod. So it's definitely not one of my favorite episodes, but a little bit disappointing. But if you like this video, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take care, guys.